Hello everyone, this is Tom O'Connor of Advanced Discovery. I'm here at the University of Florida Levin College of Law for the 4th Annual eDiscovery Conference. The event is hosted by the School of Law, of course, Bill Hamilton, and also by the EDRM and George Sosha. But I'm here right now speaking with Julie Brown from the Voorhees firm in Columbus, Ohio. Julie, how you doing?
Wonderful. How about you, Tom?
I'm doing well. It's been a great conference so far. What do you think?
I think it's been great. We wrapped up a session on email threading just a little bit ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Good. Well, tell me about that then. I missed that because I was out here doing interviews. So.
It was a great session. We had representatives from in-house, from the provider side, myself, and we're able to talk through a lot of not only the great things about email threading, but some of the things to watch out for and beware of, not only with threading, but also email suppression.
Okay. My experience, at least our experience, I should say, at Advanced Discovery, is that email threading is pretty popular. That's not one that we have to sell a whole lot. People understand how it works, the advantages of using it. Your experience as well, that attorneys understand what's going on there?
I think so. I think there's still convincing people that, especially if there's an additional cost to do it, sometimes it's hard to get people to agree that, yeah, this makes a lot of sense from a cost perspective.
Yes.
Even though, and I think you kind of have to show the return on investment. If it costs this much to do it, how much are you going to save the client in review? But for the most part, for us, there's no additional charge for that, so it's pretty easy for us to just run it on every case and
right.
Let people look at it and see.
Right. What else are you seeing here? Any other good topics?
Well, I think the one we're doing this afternoon on similarities is going to be good. I think the judge just did a really good, actually I had to leave a little bit early. Judge Tagliatore,
yes.
I have a hard time pronouncing that. He just finished up a really good session. So.
Yeah, I think our discussion of similarity is real timely as we get larger and larger amounts of data, being able to pull out those near dupes, for lack of a better
right.
or more accurate phrase, can lead to some huge cost savings.
Right.
And especially where we have email intensive, at least in our experience, email intensive productions, and you've got documents that have gone from one email system to another. Mm-hmm. And so they really are the same email, but the header information has changed.
Right.
So a hash doesn't give you a quote unquote duplicate hit.
Right.
You still have to get those out because otherwise you're reviewing the same document 4, 5, 6, 10 times.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah, that's become a big deal from us. I'm looking forward to hearing what the rest of the panel has to say. The other point that I thought was interesting today, though, was Ms. Lieberman from she's the local county attorney mm-hmm. here and also the 8th Judicial Circuit Bar Association here in Florida, talking about Florida changing their CLE requirements
right.
to make technical training, or at least 1 hour of technical training a year, mm-hmm. Much as there is an ethical requirement. You must take 1 hour of CLE of ethics per year, making that mandatory. First state that I know of that's done that. Even California, with their recent opinion, was mm-hmm. only an advisory opinion. They didn't institute any change to the CLE structure. I'm hoping this will be the first of many states. Have you heard anything in Ohio?
I haven't. I think when I heard it this morning, I was like, wow, that's pretty surprising and wonderful that they're actually looking at it that way. So.
Yeah, I think, unfortunately, and I do a lot of CLE speaking, as you know. We have a huge book of topics at Advanced that we go out to our clients and talk about. But you put down technical competence, and it's always at the bottom of the list that the attorneys are looking at. They're not going to do that without that impetus, I think, of the bar saying, yeah, you need to take this.
Right. I think some attorneys have a passion for the technology, and those are the ones that I think almost attorneys have to have either an attorney that knows eDiscovery or a lit support person that knows eDiscovery to assist them. I don't think they're going to learn everything. Every attorney is going to learn everything there is to know because there's so much and it changes
right.
so fast. And it's a full-time job, I think, keeping up with all the technologies out there, all the pricing out there, all the new file formats we're getting, all the new solutions that are coming on the market. So I think litigation technology folks, or I think in some cases what I would call an e-discovery attorney, who is brought in on every case that really understands the tools and technology and can help make some strategic decisions, especially on the really big cases.
Yeah, I agree. So one last question before we wrap up. I'll let you get back to the sessions. Where do you see things going in the next year or so? Any trends coming up? Any new developments that you think might happen?
I mean, I think analytics are going to play a more prominent role. I do think, and I mentioned in the email threading session, that I think we're heading towards a suppression instead of email threading and just trying to put them all together so you can review in a thread, to actually suppress the duplicative emails from a review set so that the attorneys don't even see it.
Right.
And then
Interesting. Okay.
the question will be when we produce, and we're seeing this in some of the cases now, do you produce it suppressed or unsuppressed? There's some gotchas there, because if you produce suppressed, your metadata fields aren't going to all be there, so your froms and tos in the middle of a thread won't be produced. Unless technology figures out unless a solution comes out where technology, when we do a production, we can say, include the metadata for all the pieces and parts in between.
Yep.
Right now, we would have to literally write a script and do a lot of work to make that happen.
Right.
But I do think down the road, just as global dedupe was so controversial, in 2006, everybody's like, oh, you can't dedupe across the whole thing. And then along came dedupe custodian. So now you're crazy if you don't globally dedupe.
Right.
And I think suppression will be, in the future, what we do.
Okay.
And I think the courts will enforce that has to be done.
Interesting. Okay, great. Well, thanks for coming to talk to us. Always a pleasure to see you. I'm looking forward to being on the panel again in about 45 minutes from now.
Yeah,
huh?
me
All
too.
right. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, folks.